The honourable member for McEwen.
Mr Speaker, I direct my question without notice to the Treasurer. I ask the Treasurer why he taxes random breath testing machines at 20% under the wholesale sales tax system, while pornographic magazines are exempt. I also ask the Treasurer why orange juice attracts a wholesale sales tax rate of 10% while caviar is exempt.
The honourable Treasurer. Order.
Because we happen to have a tax on beverages in this country at a single rate, and it's 10%. We could, any government, if it wished, could have a one-rate wholesale sales tax. We could average the 30, 20 and 10 rates, but the 20 rate covers the great bulk of the goods, and the average rate would be something like 18%. So what you're advocating, what the Liberal Party is advocating apparently, is that fruit juice goes from 10 to 18%, from 10 to 18%, and all the goods that are low tax, no, what you're arguing is you don't want differentiation in the levy of the tax. So, with the honourable member's first question in the House, she's advocating an increase in beverage taxation. Well, that's consistent with the Leader of the Opposition, who started his day as a Leader of the Opposition advocating a new tax base in the tax system, a consumption tax. Now, I know you're tax happy over there, and that's why we've had to cut your 60% rate, Mr Howard's, Dr Hewson's 60% rate to 47, and your 30 rate to 21. That's basically the job you've left us to do. Now, the fact is there are differential rates, and this could be, well, it's a foodstuff, and they're not taxed. They're not taxed. Beverages are taxed. And the point about the literature has no logic whatsoever. Literature is not taxed, and therefore the equation with the breathalyzer is just an illogical and cheap appeal to a bit of contorted logic that you think would bring some benefit to your question. Now, the fact of the matter is, again, I make the point, the wholesale sales tax system was in there all the years, the 30-odd years you were in office. If you didn't like it, why didn't you get rid of it? Why didn't the member for Bennelong, G'd along by his advisor, the now Leader of the Opposition, get the ball under the arm and run through the Cabinet room with the consumption tax in 1978 or 1979? And the answer is, the reason is, as I've said in this House on plenty of occasions, they couldn't get a piece of tissue paper through the Cabinet, much less a submission. And that's why we were stuck with this rickety wholesale sales tax system. Now, I'm quite happy. I'd be very interested in the Leader of the Opposition's view about this. And as you've asked a question, obviously, and there are not other people jumping, you were slotted into the question list, so it has the official imprimatur. That being the case, this has obviously come past the Leader of the Opposition's office. And if it's come past the Leader of the Opposition's office, let him tell us if he's advocating a flat-rate wholesale sales tax. Does he want the 10 rate? Does he want the 10 rate being lifted to 18? That's an option, but if he wants a tax on food and some products like beverages and biscuits and other things, certain categories of confectionery lifted to 18%, well, then let him say so. And if you don't, the best thing to do is shut up.